question 8 is a function question, but it's based on a literature passage. We're specifically working with a poem here. This poem is a kind of passage that many students will find difficult to understand. So instead of really explaining all of the poem, the entire thing, I want to show how we can use partial understanding of the poem to solve this question. So what I can take away from this poem is I do need to understand the underlined portion, and it says that there is a slight wind that shakes the seed pod. So there's a wind that is shaking seed pods. So something is growing and the wind is kind of rustling them. So the next two lines go, my thoughts are spent as the black seeds. I may not know what that means, but I can pick up on the word black. Okay, there's some color going on there. And then the next two lines, I see the words tear, dread, fever. The next line, I see scattered and whirled. So in general, all of these words, I see quite negative tone. I may not understand what's going on, but there's this wind that's shaking up the seeds, and the I being described as well is in quite a negative way. I'm seeing a lot of negative words. And then the last sentence is, the last two lines are the ones that we should really pay attention to, which is, I am scattered like the hot shriveled seed. So myself is like, I'm using a simile here, like the seeds, and we're both not so great. All of the words that are describing I, the narrator or the speaker, and the seeds are all negative, and you're saying that I am like those seeds. That seems to be not great. So that's all I'm really going to take away from this poem. Having read that, I'm going to go read the answer choices, because remember, the correct answer is not in the passage, it's in the answer choices. Answer choice A says, there illustrates a change in the natural environment. Okay, well, wind shaking, if you want to consider that a change, that's fine. That the speaker implies is responsible for the growing misgivings described in the text. So what this means is that because of the wind, that's the cause of these negative feelings. Well, I don't know that I saw anything that makes me feel like, oh, because it's windy, that I'm starting to feel all of these things. If anything, they're making me seem like, okay, I am the seed and these things are happening. But there's no reason for us to believe that the wind is the cause of my dread or fear. So for that reason, A is incorrect. B says it establishes an example of consistency in the natural landscape. And consistency, I don't know that we saw that, because consistency means it happens again and again. There's no descriptors, no words or adjectives in the passage that's really talking about that, versus the unpredictability of human emotions. There's no words describing that either. So for that reason, B and C are incorrect. C says we present an observation of an occurrence. Okay, so the wind shaking the seed pods, that's an occurrence, that's something that happened, that the speaker then expands on to convey a sense of turbulent interior state. Okay, so this is the me. So what they're saying is you're going from something you saw, something happening to the seeds, to talking about how you feel. So that's the I am the seed kind of expansion. So I like that. That's fine. I'll keep that. Answer choice D says it evokes the ordinariness. Ordinariness gives me pause, because are we talking about how common this is, how often this happens? Doesn't really seem like it, but I'll keep reading. Of an event in nature to suggest that the critical self-evaluation the speaker engages in common pursuit. Again, we're not sure that this, like feeling dread and fevers and feeling scattered, we don't know that this is something that happens every day, all the time, not based on the poem. So I can't get behind these words ordinariness or common. So C is the correct answer. So I didn't really explain what this poem is explicitly talking about, because we don't really need to know that to answer the question. All we really need to know is, okay, it seems like they're talking about seed pods and they're talking about me, both in very negative ways. At the end of the day, they're saying I am like, so I am equating myself to the seeds. That's the only thing we needed to take away. And that led me to the correct answer. So don't get caught up on a test when you see these poems and have a hard time getting through them. Try to understand as much as you can and then eliminate answer choices. And that's the most efficient way to solve these questions.